Perspective is reality. One thing I learned from Myron Golden, who's a business consultant and a YouTuber, is that every fact in life has a positive and a negative aspect to it. It's impossible for a fact just to be positive or just to be negative, but it all depends on how we view the fact. Tony Robbins said it like this: we don't experience life, we experience the life we focus on. See, our perspectives, how we view something, it shapes how it affects us. For example, if you failed your math test, you could view that fact as a positive thing, saying, hey, I'm going to study harder. It's going to motivate me to do better. Or you could view it from the negative side of it, saying, man, I failed my math test. But there's not only a negative side, and there's not only a positive side. It all depends on your perspective, which is why perspective is reality. I experienced this earlier this week. I'm in college and I was eating at a cafeteria on a Thursday. I was eating lunch and I saw someone I'm friends with, so I was like, yo, I'm gonna talk to her. So I tapped her and I started waving at her and she smiled back at me and she walked away. I was like, man, I should have talked to her. And I allowed that to affect how I was feeling for the rest of the day. I became very self-conscious, very self-centered. I was like, man, I wish I would have done this, or I wish I would have done that. I wish I would have talked to her. And I allowed all those wishes, all those regrets, all the negative aspect of the fact to affect how I was feeling. And because it affected my feelings, it also affected my actions. As a result, for the rest of the day until dinner time, I was very self-centered. I didn't really talk to many people. Instead of text my roommate to eat dinner, I ate alone. And at dinner, I was eating alone. And then after I finished, I was walking out. And then I was like, yo, I forgot to take my creatine. So I went back to go get a cup. And there's a lot of people in the cafeteria. So I decided to sit in the back of the cafeteria while I was making my creatine to drink. And in the back of the cafeteria, I saw a very pretty girl. She was sitting alone and she was looking very sad. But I was still self-conscious at times. So I was like, oh man, she must just be looking at me because I'm all that, whatever it was. And I did my creatine. I noticed she was still sad and I was like, oh, whatever. So we had eye contact, but I just left. And when I was leaving, I was like, Austin, what are you doing? What are you doing? You're allowing something that happened in the past to affect your actions in the future. See, I was allowing the negative aspect of the fact during lunch, saying, hey, I wish I would have talked to one of my friends more. And I looked at the negative aspect of that fact. I allowed that to affect my actions in the future. And as a result, I missed the needs of those around me. Because when we're self-focused, when we're self-centered, we become blind to the people's needs around us. So instead of actually talking to that girl who was looking sad, I walked away. And that's what happens when we view the negative aspect of every fact we have in life. It all depends on our perspective. And when we view things from a negative side, we miss the needs of those around us. And we actually affect our feelings, and our feelings affect our actions, and we get bad results, all because of our bad perspectives. So I encourage you today to have a good perspective on life. After the day after I had that event, I told my friend, hey, I told him about what had just happened. I didn't talk to that girl, and then I missed the opportunity to talk to someone who's looking sad. And I told him, hey, I'm going to allow this to change my life. See, I could have just went on with my day saying whatever, that happened and not learn from it. But I said, no, I'm going to look at the positive aspect of this fact. And the positive aspect of that fact is that I can learn from it and I can grow from it. So I told him I'm going to allow this to change my life. And we can all do that with whatever happens to us in life. Everything that happens to us has a positive aspect. And we can say with that, hey, I'm going to allow this thing that happened to me in the past, whether good or bad, to change my life, which is what I did that day. So I learned from that, hey, Austin, be more present in the moment. Because when I'm present, I'm aware of the needs around me. If I was present, I would have been aware of that girl who was sad. If I was present, I would not have regretted my actions in the past, which is another thing I learned. Austin, stop regretting your actions in the past, because every action that I've made in the past helped me to be where I am today. But even further than that, I can't change the past. I love telling people, hey, control what you can control in life. And one thing we can't control is the past. And when we try to control the past, it messes up what we're doing in the present. Right? So stop trying to control the past and be more present. That's one thing I learned from the event that happened to me, because I looked at the positive aspect of that fact. And that's my encouragement to you today. Look at the positive aspect of the fact and allow yourself to allow the events that happen to you in your life to change your life. You don't want to make the same mistakes over and over again. It's good to fail, but it's bad not to learn from it. So, why is perspective reality? Perspective is reality because everything that happens to us and for us in life is either positive or negative based upon how we choose to view it. Tony Robbins said, "We don't experience life, we experience the life we focus on." And Shakespeare said it like this in his play Hamlet, "Nothing is good or bad, but thinking makes it so." In other words, how we view something determines whether it's good or bad. The fact itself, reality itself, does not determine so. Thanks for watching this video. If you like this video, make sure to subscribe and check out my video next week. I try to post every week, at least God willing, and thank you guys for watching.